City boy, city boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Nate the Great, back with another video. And you know we gotta go ahead and do a Friday night Smackdown review, baby. Oh my goodness. The biggest challenge over these last 3 hours was staying awake. My initial thoughts on the show, man, this is just rematch after rematch. Fucking bullshit backstage segment after bullshit backstage segment. It's like missionary every single night, over and over and over again. How can you do it? 15 days away from what's supposed to be the biggest night of the year for wrestling. The two biggest nights of the year for wrestling. WrestleMania 41. And we're getting absolute garbage, snooze fest, fucking rematch mania 15 days away. Let's get this review kicked off. We're gonna do it segment by segment, and that's just what it's gonna be. So we start off with some superstar walkouts, and as Joe Testicles is talking about, all the superstars and shit, I'm seeing that this is going to be nothing but rematches tonight. Okay? Just nothing but rematches tonight. We got fucking Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu. We got fucking we had some other motherfuckers, DIY and Motor City. Just multiple motherfuckers with that are just gonna be out doing rematches and shit tonight. Next up, we get the contract signing recap that happened last week, right? They show all that shit off. That takes about 5 minutes, 6 minutes of our time. And then out comes CM Punk to do a 4-minute entrance. All right, it says we're in Chicago for the evening. So you already know they were going to milk this entrance as long as they possibly could. CM Punk finally gets in the ring. I don't know where y'all are at, but we're about 12, 13 minutes into the show before he actually speaks a word. And when he finally starts speaking words, all he's doing is profusely thanking Chicago, thanking WWE, thanking everybody, thanking AJ, thanking Larry, all right, for him being where he is now, getting to the WrestleMania main event. Snooze, 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 I'm falling asleep, okay? Paul Heyman then interrupts the whole little shindig that they got going on. Paul Heyman, after sucking a little bit of CM Punk dick, he asks, what is the favor? He says Roman Reigns, he's not here yet, etc. So, I'd like to know before he gets here. You know how them Samoans get when they get angry. All right. Punk just doesn't answer him. He just walks off. He says, what, you mean Roman's not here? Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you when he gets here type shit. And he just leaves. Then we get a commercial. So we're like 20, 25 minutes into the show now. And we've got nothing. Okay? We got absolutely nothing. Next up, Rey Fenix makes his debut against guess who? Nathan Frasier from NXT. Rey Fenix. I don't think y'all heard me, dog. I don't think y'all fucking heard me. Rey Fenix makes his debut on WWE television Friday Night Smackdown against Nathan Frasier. When it came back from commercial and I see Nathan Frasier in the ring, I had to check the channel. I had to check what the fuck is going on. Am I watching NXT right now? I could have sworn it was Friday. Am I in the fucking Twilight Zone? But no, it's Nathan Frasier. NXT Tag Team Champion, Nathan Frasier. Out comes Rey Fenix next, okay? Now, when I tell you, this has to be one of the least impressive people I've ever seen in all of my days. In all of my days, I have not seen someone that looks just so, like, Nathan Frasier looks like more of a fucking threat than Rey Fenix, all right? Rey Fenix looks like a 142-pound Rey Mysterio. Rey Fenix is not like I say, I don't watch Lucha Underground, okay? I don't watch AEW. So when motherfuckers started talking about Rey Fenix, I have no idea who the fuck you're talking about. All right? I don't know and I don't care. If you're not up at the big leagues, then we're not talking about you, man. So when I see this guy for the first time and I see that this motherfucker is smaller than me, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? But anyways, right? Rey Fenix makes his entrance. It's an okay entrance. You know, the people are hyped in Chicago because they want to see what's going on. But I already had a feeling. We're about to get a 50-50 snooze fest between a motherfucker from NXT and somebody who's supposed to be making their WWE debut, putting their best out there on the line. This is what we're about to get. And that's exactly what the fuck we got. First of all, there were a couple of botched moves in this match. Right off the bat, all right, like at least 2 minutes into the match, Frasier got fucking, what's his name? Rey Fenix out of the ring, okay? And he botched a fucking suicide dive. And this is why you don't want to put these NXT jobbers in matches where they're supposed to be showing off all their shit right away. If you're going to bring up an NXT jobber, bring them up to job. Don't bring them up to have a good match. Because they're not ready yet. They're simply not ready. There's a reason why they're still in NXT, baby. Because they're not ready yet. Nathan Frasier is not ready yet. I don't think he'll ever be ready. I'm not impressed with Nathan Frasier. He's not an impressive looking guy. He doesn't have impressive moves. Okay? I've seen everything he does. I've seen it before. So when he botches a suicide dive on national television, it just makes him look like a retard. And also makes Rey Fenix look like a retard. Alright? Most of this match happened picture in picture. So I couldn't give a fuck. Rey Fenix wins with like a Mexican muscle buster. It was a decent move. But like I said, this was a 10 to 15 minute match. And he went 50-50. Nathan Frasier from NXT took Rey Fenix to the fucking limit. How does this help Rey Fenix? How are we supposed to look at Rey Fenix as a threat? As somebody to be looking forward to on Friday Night Smackdown, when he can't even go over Nathan Frasier by the skin of his fucking teeth. After the match, he gets an interview just like his damn brother, and this motherfucker speaks less English than Penta. This shit's crazy. This shit is crazy. I was very upset watching this match. Very upset with the promo. I'm over it already. We cut to LDF backstage, and we already know his motherfucker. We know his future. Because LDF, they're backstage. Or Legado del Fantasma. Okay? They're backstage, and, you know, fucking Santos Escobar is, you know, he's putting over Rey Fenix and all this shit. Whatever, we move on. We hit yet another commercial. Okay? We come back from commercial. Drew Mack, he has his little vignette where he's, you know, talking about, he has an eye patch on, all right? And he's talking about fucking Damian Priest. And, like, I I legitimately could not care. I could not give a fuck. Saying the same shit he always says. Oh, you took this from me. Oh, you took away my chances. This, that, and the other. Like, come on. We know what's going on here. Next up, we get a interview from Braun Strowman. Okay. Fucking, what's his face? I'm forgetting his name already. I'm forgetting his fucking name. Whatever. But he asks him a question. And he says, you know, Jacob Fatu, he's been up your ass all these weeks. Are you looking forward to finally putting him away for good? You know, whatever. Braun Strowman says some words, and here comes Solo Sikoa and Tama yeah. All right. Solo Sikoa says some words. Braun Strowman says some words. Tama Tonga says some words. Here comes L.A. Knight, yeah. All right, L.A. Knight says some fucking words. Tama Tonga's like, yeah. I'm finna beat your ass, boy. I'll beat your ass, boy. Something like that. I don't know. L.A. Knight says something about how he has gargantuan balls. He asks for a referee, says he's about to stomp that nigga out, okay? Stomp out Tama Tonga, have him saying cheer. All right? All this shit, all right? I don't know. I don't know what's going on right now, to be honest with you. But LA Knight, he leaves, okay? He starts walking towards the ring, asking for a ref, and we're about to get a match between LA Knight and Tama Tonga. Another rematch, okay? Another rematch. We go to commercial. We come back. Match starts. LA Knight wins this. I'm not about to go through this. This is a fucking rematch, okay? We knew this was about to happen. Solo Sikoa tried to get involved, didn't work. So Tama Tonga takes that BFT, and he gets 3 the hard way. No did he. After this, we get a Paul Heyman interview. Byron Saxton. That's the motherfucker's name. Byron Saxton. Okay? He was doing all the interviews tonight, and he's interviewing Paul Heyman, okay? Paul Heyman's like, why am I even speaking to you, man? And that's my question. All right? But he talks into the camera and he says, CM Punk, whatever the favor is, it's a yes. All right? Then an SUV pulls up behind him. Paul Heyman thinks it's Roman Reigns. So he says, my tribal chief, you have finally arrived. But no, it's Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins gets out and he says some words to Paul Heyman about how he looks terrible and how he needs to get away, a bunch of shit. I could care less. We go to commercial, okay? We come back, and we get a fucking promo battle between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. Now, this is a promo battle between 2 superstars, if you can call them that, who can't cut promos. Neither one of them can cut a fucking promo. Especially off the dome, which is what this promo is. You can tell when some shit is written and when some shit is off the top of the dome, and that's what all this is. Basically, what you need to know is this was a real catty promo. All right? It devolved very quickly. Fucking Charlotte Flair was getting booed out of the building because Chicago was well behind Tiffany Stratton. And whenever Charlotte Flair gets booed by the audience, she has no idea how to handle it. Excuse me. She has no idea how to handle it. She gets very insecure when she gets behind the mic and the crowd is booing her. So she was very flustered throughout this entire thing. Tiffany Stratton, she was doing better than she has, I guess, over the last couple of weeks. She brings up Charlotte Flair's divorces, says she's 0-3 outside of the ring. Okay? Says after WrestleMania she'll be alone just like she is at home, whatever. Charlotte Flair says some shit like, okay, well, why is Ludwig in my DMs? Bitch, you're like 44 years old right now. Like, what are you why is your man in my DMs? Like, what are we doing here? All right, that was basically the end of the promo. Ass promo. I couldn't care less about this shit. Before we go to commercial, Nick Aldis announced that next week there's going to be a women's tag team gauntlet match. Next week with some Raw talent and some Smackdown talent. So there's that. That's something that's happening next week. Are you excited? I'm so excited. Can you hear it in my voice? So we go to commercial, we come back, we get Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. Okay? I don't even know. I don't even remember who won this match, to be honest with you. I obviously wasn't watching it because I didn't write it down in my notes. I'm pretty sure, though. I'm pretty sure it was Motor City. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Motor City that won. But this is another rematch. We don't give a fuck. All right. So we move on. We had a commercial, come back. Mellow Don't Miz and Pretty Deadly. They're backstage. This was an okay backstage little segment here. But this is one of those things. This is what I'm talking about. Somebody asked me after one of my last videos, like, okay, well, you keep saying that there's no characters, right? But what do you mean? This is one of the things I'm talking about. What are they doing standing around back? Everybody is just standing around backstage. That's all people do. If they're not out there in a match, they're standing around somewhere backstage. They don't have actual activities that they're doing backstage besides standing around talking shit to people. These are not characters. This is not like Mellow Don't Miz. What do they have in common? What brings them together? Do they have activities that they do together that, bring them together? Do they both like fucking pie? Do they both like steak? Do they like to drink beer? Do they like wine? Do they watch basketball? Do they cut hair? Do they, what the fuck is it what brings them together? Pretty Deadly, backstage. What do they do? Why are they not rehearsing for Broadway or some shit? Singing show tunes or some shit? What is it that brings these motherfuckers? Why are they just standing around backstage? Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga, they're just walking around backstage. And then they run into Braun Strowman. What the fuck is this? These are not characters. These are not characters. Characters have distinguishable characteristics. Things that separate them from the next person. Everybody is saying the same shit to each other. The same shit. You couldn't beat us on our worst day. You couldn't beat me on my worst day. I'm better than you. I'm a better wrestler than you. That's it. That's what we get. That is not a fucking character. So this is what I mean. Segments like this, though they had some good, one-liners, some good jokes here and there, though I like the dynamic that Mello and Miz have, though I like Pretty Deadly, because they're one of the only tag teams that actually have a gimmick where they're supposed to be Broadway motherfuckers, right? They're not used in that way. Every single time we go backstage, these motherfuckers should be auditioning for some shit. These motherfuckers should be practicing their monologues, practicing some shit, practicing show tunes and shit. Every single time we go backstage, that's what we should be seeing. They should be walking up on some bitches talking about, hey, can y'all listen to this little right here? We got this show tune that we've been working on. We got this monologue that we've been working on. We're getting ready to audition for this show. Something. Give me something of some substance. Something that separates Pretty Deadly from Mellow Don't Miz. But when they're both just backstage throwing zingers at each other, they're just like everybody else. I had to do it. I had to go off on that little rant. Because what the fuck, man? What is this shit? What is this shit? I don't want to hear about the Miz's movies. Marine 3, Marine 4. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. Stay in kayfabe, motherfucker. Give me some shit. Give me some actual characteristics. Give me some actual dialogue, okay? Whatever. We move on. Next up, we get B-Fab versus Naomi. All right, B-Fab comes out first, then comes Naomi. Jade Cargill attacks Naomi before the match. Naomi runs into the ring, beats the dog shit out of B-Fab immediately. Like, it's a 2-minute match. Naomi grabs the mic and says, "Hey, where the fuck you at, Jade?" Jade comes up behind her again, hits her with a bicycle kick. She's about to hit her with the Jaded. Here comes the security. Security comes out. They start getting their ass whipped by Jade. Out comes Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis sets up the match that we already knew was going to happen between Jade Cargill and Naomi at WrestleMania. And that was that. Okay? Next up, we get a vignette from Damian Priest where he says the same shit that everybody says to Drew. "Oh, you're just a hypocrite. Oh, you're just a bitch. All you do is to blame everybody else. I'll see you next week. We'll come face to face and we'll have a match at WrestleMania." I don't care. We get a commercial, we come back, and this right here, all right? Because on this channel, we don't like it when wrestlers get hurt. We don't like it. We do not like it when wrestlers get hurt. All right? Nick Aldis comes out. He says that this is one of the parts of his job that he hates to do. One of the parts of his job that's not fun. He welcomes out Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens basically says that he's been dealing with some very bad neck issues over the last few months. They haven't been able to figure out what it is, but recently they finally were able to figure it out. He's not going to be able to do his match at WrestleMania because he has to undergo neck surgery. Okay? Now, you know what doesn't help when one of your superstars is having very severe neck issues? You know what really doesn't help? Getting brain busted onto a fucking steel chair. Remember that? Just a little over a month ago now, at the Elimination Chamber. Remember that? Remember when Kevin Owens? Remember Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, where they're fucking giving each other fucking brain busters and fucking muscle busters and fucking pop-up power bombs onto steel chairs and shit, onto concrete and shit. Remember that? It's shit like that that just doesn't help things like this. Excuse me. Now, I don't really care for Kevin Owens as a wrestler, but as a human being, I hope that he's okay. I hope that he, his surgery is successful and that he's able to. I mean, I don't want him to come back. I honestly don't. But, I do want him to, be safe, be all right. And I hope that he gets through whatever he's going through right now with flying colors. Randy Orton comes out, walks past Kevin Owens as he's walking up. They show some respect. Nick Aldis tells Randy Orton, "I'm sorry, but that means that you're not going to be able to, have a match at WrestleMania." Randy Orton hits him with an RKO. The fans sing his song, and that's it. We move on to commercial. So, there was that. I was waiting for the joke. I was waiting for the joke to be over the whole time. I'm not going to lie. Because, we've seen this song and dance before. But, the joke never ended. Never, the punchline never came. So, like I said, if this whole thing is not a kayfabe injury, if this is actually real, it's that and the other, then I really hope that Kevin Owens is okay. We move on. We get up next, Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman in another rematch for a last man standing match. Okay. This is a number one contenders match. So at least there's some kind of stipulation here. I couldn't care less about this match. There's way too many near counts. It's like every single time they went down, they were counting all the way to 9, counting all the way to 8. Every single time. This match lasted about 15 minutes or so. 2 commercials during this fucking match. And Jacob Fatu won by the skin of his teeth. So, there you go. Next up, we get a Cena versus Cody recap. You know what I'm saying? Their little promo battle that they did on Monday. They pretty much showed the entire thing. So, that was another 5-7 minutes of our time. Paul Heyman, he gets interviewed again. Byron Saxton asks him again, hey, when is Roman going to be here? Paul Heyman says soon, so we go to commercial. We come back, Roman finally pulls up, okay? Roman calls for CM Punk, all right? He pulls up, he walks straight out to the ring, all right? Doesn't say shit to Paul Heyman, just walks straight out to the ring. He calls for Punk, all right? Says that, the people aren't that smart. Just because Punk is from Chicago doesn't mean that they have to cheer for him out there in Chicago, all right? Everything that Punk is getting right now is because of him. Punk hasn't earned anything. The only reason why he's getting into the main event is because Roman Reigns' his name is attached to this whole thing, which is facts. So he calls for CM Punk to come out because he wants to know what the fucking favor is. We're waiting on that. Here comes Seth fucking Rollins, okay? Here he comes. Rollins comes out. He's spitting absolute nonsense. Absolute fucking he's just nonsense. So much nonsense to the point where the crowd starts to chant, "What's the favor? What's the favor?" And I couldn't agree more. Just tell us what the fucking favor is so we can move on to what's next. Punk then comes out and he yaps on. He yaps on. Well, this goes back all the way to 4400 some odd lane back in Lexington, Kentucky, when they told me that I shouldn't be here. They told Paul Heyman to fire me. Paul Heyman said no. This goes way back to those days when I wasn't supposed to be here, when Paul Heyman took a chance on me because he is a wise man. He's wise beyond his years. Basically, what you need to know is that CM Punk asked for Paul Heyman to be in his corner at WrestleMania. Paul starts crying immediately, damn near. Roman Reigns is like, look, man, that's the favor. And that's my question, too. And I'm pretty sure that was the entire audience's question. Like, that's the favor, nigga? We waited what would have happened? What would have happened if this wasn't a main event? Would you still have asked for this? Because he said, what Paul said was, when you're main eventing WrestleMania, when you finally main event WrestleMania, make sure they feel us. That's what Paul said, apparently. So, what if this wasn't a WrestleMania main event? What would have been the favor then? But whatever, okay? That's just logic and shit like that. We obviously don't deal with that over here. So, Roman's like, that's the favor? Even if I had let Paul Heyman do some shit like that, he wouldn't do some shit like that. Paul, go ahead and let him down easily. Like I said, Paul is crying. Paul is in tears. Paul is in shambles. Okay? Roman's like, look, man, I keep asking you to tell this motherfucker no. I'm going to give you one more opportunity to say no. Paul, crying, says, my tribal chief, I can't do it. I can't tell him no. Roman is obviously, and for a legitimate reason, he's upset about this. He starts backing Paul Heyman into the corner. CM Punk attacks Roman Reigns from behind, hits him with the GTS, okay? And then stares down Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins just steps out of the ring, and the show goes to black. Now, let me ask you. Let me ask the thousands and thousands of Canaanites. Are you more excited about WrestleMania now? Did this show do it for you? This show did not do it for me, man. This show did not do it for me. I'm actually less excited about I was already not excited about WrestleMania, right? On a scale of 1 to 10 for how excited I am for the WrestleMania season, I was already at a 1.3. I am now at a 1.2. Out of 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, I was at a 1.3. I'm at a 1.2 now. I don't give a fuck. And this show didn't help at all. Rematch after rematch after rematch. We spend all night waiting on this motherfucker Punk to tell us what the favor is, and that's what the favor is? This might as well be a Paul Heyman on a pole match. Custody for Paul Heyman match. What the fuck is Seth even doing in this shit? Why is Seth even here? Seth Rollins is literally the odd man out. Standing in the corner watching this shit go down like a cuck. What is this? Is this storytelling? Is this drama? Triple H has no idea what the fuck he's doing. We're 15 days away. 15 days away from WrestleMania. And this is the shit that we're being inundated with. This show is ass. I give it a 2 out of 10. The only reason it's getting a 2 out of 10 is because LA Knight won tonight. Everything else, and even that match was a fucking rematch. So it's like, fuck, man. Like, damn. I'll give this shit a 2 out of 10, man. This show was ass. Let me know what y'all thought of this show down in the comments section below. I'll be back with some more videos this weekend because we got to break this shit down. We have to break this shit down even more. All right. This has been your boy, Nate the Great, back with another video. If you haven't done it yet, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So please hit that like button if you haven't, and please hit that subscribe button. Do you feel me? This has been your boy, Nate the Great, back with another video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.